So, Ramon, we know that it's very important to be prepared when you go for an interview, either it's in person or via Zoom. Do you have any tips for students or new graduates how to prepare for the interview?
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, 20 years ago, the common tactic, technique that we used to use is not record yourself, but like practice in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
So you would stand in front of the mirror and practice your answers. And I always tell people, you can write down your answers, but don't memorize them. This isn't a script because you memorize a script, you might forget a script. But if you know your story, if you know your interview theme, no matter what question they ask you or how they ask you or when they ask you, you can have an answer.
Yes.
So you can practice in front of a mirror. Nowadays, we have our phones that have cameras. So I
Yeah.
tell people, okay, if you're going to practice on your own, the first thing you're going to do is practice just recording your voice. So don't record yourself, record your voice. You want to make sure that you sound clear, crisp, loud enough, or not too loud.
Mhm.
Um, and when you're reviewing this audio, make sure you're honest with yourself, but not critical of yourself. There's a difference.
Mm.
Being honest with yourself is saying, hey, you know what? I think I went too fast here, or I mumbled too much, or
Mhm.
whatever, right? That's
Yes.
being honest. Being critical is saying, that was the stupidest thing ever.
Mm.
And then you don't want that because that's just going to bring you down. So be honest. Like say, hey, you know what? I think I can maybe speak a little bit clearer. That's being honest. But saying I can never be better than this, that's being critical. You don't want that.
Yeah.
And then the third phase of practicing on your own would be to record yourself.
Yes.
And when you review the video of recording yourself, focus on your body language. Are
Yes.
you smiling too much, smiling too little? Do you look like this? This is my normal face. So I always have to make sure when I interview, I relax my face. I exaggerate my smiles when I practice. So when I'm actually interviewing for real, my natural smile comes out. But those are the things I recommend people do when preparing for interviews. Outside, obviously, from doing the research on the company, on the job, and on the people you're meeting.
Is there any specific questions you recommend students to ask at the end?
Yeah, so actually, I would counter back on that. I don't want you to ask questions at the end. I want you to ask questions throughout the interview. You want
Mm.
to make sure this is a conversation. Let
Mhm.
your competition have interviews. What you're going to do is have a conversation with the people. The one question I always tell people to ask because it's very bold and it's very unexpected, and it again changes the mood of the interview in the right way,
Yeah.
is asking, "What about my resume attracted you the most?"
Yeah.
Because if you ask that question, you're going to get to the root of the problem that they have of why they're looking for this position,
Yeah.
what they're looking for in a new candidate. The answers, they tell you exactly where it is. Once you hear that answer, then you know what you need to go deep in. So if they say, well, I need someone who knows very comfortable with Java or who's very comfortable with aerospace stuff, whatever it is,
Mhm.
they tell you the answer. You're like, oh, yeah, well, let me talk about that stuff because that's what they're looking for. So again, question is, what about my resume attracted you the most?
That's a great tip. Thank you, Ramon. Again, for the audience watching or listening, if you have any other tips, please leave them below. And tune in next time for other great question with Ramon.